Yeah. Chillin' with my kids, count cake. We done made it from the apartments to the house to the lake.
God is all of my plans, that's the walk through. God is all of my
Chillin' with my kids, count cake. We done made it from the apartments to the house to the lake.
God is all of my plans, that's the walk through. God is all of my plans, that's the talk.
Welcome back to Talk That Talk. I'm your host, Tor'i Bionic Brooks. We cover everything from sports, entertainment, lifestyle, and culture. I'm here with the great That Fly Guy Ty, or Coach Ty. We have a really exciting episode today. We're going to take a little bit of a different sports take on today. So it should be a real fun episode. Appreciate all y'all that's been tuning in, that y'all been liking and commenting and subscribing to the channel, to the feed, to the podcast, man. And we really appreciate y'all. Like we said in the last video, we got an Ethica giveaway going on. So, you know, you see the hat, you see the t-shirt. Shout out to Ethica, man, the sponsor. But if you want to enter the giveaway, make sure you like this video, comment down below, and make sure you're following That Fly Guy Ty on Instagram, on social media. You're following myself on Instagram, Talk That Talk, and you're subscribed to the channel. All right, now that we got that out the way, man, so many fun and exciting things have been going on and happening in the sports world. So today we're going to talk a little bit about sports as a whole, about culture, and about the dynamics, man. So, real quick. Dude, like it's amazing to see where the trajectory of the sports world is going. Right now, I'm watching the Olympic Games. I'm watching everything on NBC and Peacock, and it's giving me that old school, NBA feel. Like you hear the theme song, like you're like, hold on, wait, it's the heart of a champion type. You know what I'm saying? So, one big thing with that, man, was seeing that and hearing those theme songs for the first time again. It lets me know that we're in a new age. The new media deal, the new basketball rights have switched over. They have changed back to NBC.
Yes, sir.
We're going to see a lot more of that. Maybe not this coming year immediately, but we're going to see it in 2025, 2026. Yeah. What do you think? What are your thoughts on the media deal rights? What are your thoughts on the NBA media deal rights and their negotiations?
I love that they brought it back to that old school ABC, NBC. Yeah, that's super cool. That is back there, like you said, it gives that old school feel. Back when Mike was playing, back when Ray Allen was doing his thing, Reggie Miller, all the greats, KG, brings those feels back to the space, and super excited for more of that.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I think that that's really a good point. It gives you that old school feel and vibe. But at the same time, when something positive happens, that means that, there's an equal and opposite reaction to everything you do in life, right? And that's something that I stand by that. Like my philosophy in life is like there's an equal and opposite reaction to everything you do. So I try to make the choices that are going to, benefit everybody as a whole. But in a situation like this, there's going to be some fall off. There's going to be some drop off with the NBA and their media deal rights and stuff like that. With one person getting the media deal rights, that means that somebody's going to lose them, right? So now we're about to see, in this day and age, we're about to see a change. NBA on TNT, one of the greatest basketball shows of our time. I think it was Emmy nominated. It won an Emmy. Like that crew, Kenny, Earl, Chuck, and Shaq. Like that's the core of what I know as a basketball fan, as far as what I'm coming to expect after a basketball game. After the game is over, I know they're going straight to the NBA on TNT with the post-game show. Prior to that, you're going to see them talking sports, talking basketball. And now it's no longer going to be a thing. What are your thoughts on that, bro? Man. Like, what do you think about NBA on TNT and like...
It's like the barbecue's over, man. That's
what,
how I feel. That's how I feel to me. It's like the barbecue's over. Everybody, packing up, getting their plates, getting ready to go home. It's like everybody's sad. We don't want to leave. You know what I mean? We had a great time, and nobody wants to go anywhere. So like that's kind of what it feels like for me. Is the barbecue's over and unks are going to the crib. So. I am also super excited to see what they bring to the space and the new faces that we will see.
The NBA on TNT means so much to the culture and so much to fans at home and basketball audiences, and not even basketball audiences. I know a lot of people at home who would just watch, NBA on TNT and not even care about the games.
Man.
And to see that that's going to be, taken away from the culture and moving on, hopefully at some point in the future we'll be able to double back to it and we'll be able to have some type of nostalgia with it. But at the same time, like you mentioned, it's almost like the barbecue is over. The Unks is leaving. And I honestly don't think from an NBC, Peacock, Amazon perspective, those are all the platforms where they're going to be holding all of the NBA games and stuff now. If y'all didn't know, that group, they're going to be, some games are going to be on NBC, some games are going to be on Peacock streaming. Amazon, once Thursday Night Football is over, they're going to take a large part into that, and then the international viewership, they're going to kind of amplify that and increase that. Across the board. And then we still have ESPN and ABC still, doing a lot of the same things. Like I believe the finals will still be on ABC because that's something we've love to we love, and we've grown accustomed to that and watching that. And so we're going to see some of the familiar faces, but like at the same time, we're going to lose, in my opinion, we're going to lose almost like that comedic element, the humor, that energy, like you said, the barbecue,
that home
we're
feel.
like that home feel. I feel like it's going to be more professional, which there's nothing wrong with that, but I don't think that it's going to be as much of a show. It's just going to be more like a first take, you know what I mean? Like, and first take is good, and I feel like they even do a good job of like having some comedic elements to it and some banter and stuff like that. But like it's just hard to duplicate that, and I think the only direction you can go is like go professional outside. You know what I mean? After having something so entertaining for so long, you gotta have something that's like just like
big
very clean.
Yeah, big
So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens with that and the NBA media deal rights moving forward, because the TNT and Turner and Sport, they're NBA on TNT and Turner, and that whole media conglomerate, I think it's Warner Brothers Discovery, right?
Yep, Warner Brothers Discovery.
They're actually, they got beef with the NBA now.
Yeah,
like,
I seen some legal action. It might be pursued and all of that. I was like, oh, shoot.
They really not playing. They said, we want the NBA on TNT. Like,
I mean, but they had a run, like you said. They had a big run. It was huge. You know what I mean? So to lose that, like you said, someone's got to lose. And I think, that hits home. They're like, man, this is absolutely huge. We can't afford to lose this.
Yeah, and now that they are losing it, or what it looks like, excuse me, now that they are losing that, bro, like everything else on their platform, the viewership kind of almost goes away.
Yeah.
Because personally, for me,
you'll sit there and watch some things.
I would sit there and continue to watch TNT. I will watch, their coverage on NHL. I'll watch their coverage on other sports just because I'm there for NBA and I'm there for the NBA on TNT. So now with that, I don't have no reason. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry. I love Bleacher Report. I love House of Highlights. I love all those things, but I'm not gonna really necessarily have a reason to go to that platform unless Bleacher Report, call your boy, holla at me. Let's work. Let's do something. Let's bring some of the things that we're doing, some of our productions, some of our basketball talks, or include me on some of the things that you guys want to do, because I definitely think that
we could bring that to that
space. We are the culture. You know what I'm saying? I am a part of the culture. So if y'all, this is my pitch right now: Warner Brothers Discovery, TNT, Turner. If y'all want to stay a part of the culture, go ahead, tap in with your boy. We got a lot of things on the floor, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all need some personalities right now. Hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm for hire. You know what I'm saying? The price is right. I'm for hire. We can do it all. Okay. If you could create a new Inside the NBA crew, what 4 people would you choose?
New crew, man. See, it's hard. It's like drafting, because you got to have personalities that click and match up together and things like that. I'll pick 4 guys that I just, I'll pick 4 guys that I think just would do well in the space. Again, don't know how they would work as a team and click up, but just some funny guys and some personalities that could talk some sports. I think a guy like Iman Shumpert is a great storyteller, and he's great with the podcast I've heard him on and things like that. I would like to see him in a space like that. A face that you've kind of seen on some of those panels, Chris Webber. I think he would do well in a space like that as well. Two more guys, man. Those two for sure. Another guy. He's in the reality TV space right now, but a guy like Nick Young, I think he also brings some flavor and a personality. Younger vet type of guy. I think all of these guys are younger vet type of guys. I think Chris Webber being the oldest guy there. One more would be, who else would I like to see on the panel? I don't know. You could throw a curveball in there. Guys that you don't think are that funny, but they're pretty funny when you see them. A guy like, they're still playing, but a guy like Luka, that would be funny to see him on a panel like that. I think he would bring a curveball and an element that you just wouldn't expect.
No, yeah, I definitely agree with you there, and it's funny that you touched a little bit on C-Web, Chris Webber. I think he was a part of one of the original NBA on TNT crews.
He sure was.
And that was really exciting. When he was on that crew, I think that's when they were really on their come up, because we had some really fun and entertaining shows around that time. I think that's when the racing really began, because remember, run through the tape. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's when they started, like, the whole idea of running to the board came from running through the tape. You know what I'm saying? In my eyes, you know what I mean? That's what I think about, you know what I mean? It paved the way for it, you know what I mean? And that's why I was like, who gonna beat who? You know what I'm saying? So, like, those are all good takes. I definitely agree with you. I think the angle you took was, like, not taking some of the current guys that are on the panel. So, like, the Ernie's, he's a legend. We can go ahead and retire Ernie. Ernie is one of the greatest to ever do it. So, he will be one of my number one picks if I was picking like that. But we'll disregard the current panels, and who will be my dream team then at that point to come in and make an Inside the NBA crew. So it's tough, because do you count Adam Lefkoe? Do you count, because I want Adam Lefkoe as my guy who's going to moderate the conversations. Yeah, because he wasn't that official NBA on TNT host full time. I think I can include a guy like that. Fair. I'm not, I'll stay away from the rest of the people that also filled in on the weekend, like, the Candace Parkers, the Jamal Crawford, the Dwayne Wades. Like, it was a big crew of people that were also on-screen talent.
I actually will give you those. You can include those. I missed those.
Yeah, you're not thinking about stuff like
they're already in those
around.
Big time. They're already in that space for sure. So, like, I definitely missed you.
The Reggie Millers, the Grant Hills, the Big Shot Bobs, Robert Ory's, these people have had experience on television and have filled the role in some capacity. So it's like, those are the type of people that I would love to see come back. But if I'm building out my lineup right now, I would definitely go Adam Lefkoe, up-and-coming guy, to moderate it, be able to have those conversations, kick it back and forth. Style is impeccable. My man's definitely got style. He's for the culture. That's my homie Lefkoe. Shout out to Lefkoe. He always wearing some fresh kicks. So that's what I want from, like, my main host. You know what I'm saying? Ernie did the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Ernie did his thing.
So I would put Lefkoe in that position. And then, like, with any big production or any crew, I feel like you need players that actually played and been around, and with the dynamic that they have with Inside of the NBA, is like maybe potential rivals or guys that played in the same time period. So getting guys like I think Joel Embiid, if we're talking current players, Joel Embiid will be one of those funny, dominant players that, like, would just be talking.
He'll talk smack too. So
that would talk a little bit of smack. Also not hold back, troll a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, you need somebody that's willing to go there with it. But he's currently playing. So if I'm going to get somebody retired, it's so tough, man.
Right.
Like, who would you go after? Who has a great personality? I mean, also, like, I got to go with current players, I guess. Because it's when I think of my favorite players and personalities right now, it's like, yeah, I would love to have like Adam Lefkoe, Joel Embiid. On the opposite of Joel Embiid, somebody like Nikola Jokic,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know what I mean, who's not really gonna care. You know what I mean? Like you said, the Luka,
We
the
would crack
satire,
up.
like
Yeah, we would crack
and,
up.
and then Anthony Edwards to bring it all home.
Need
You
him.
know what I mean?
Need
Like
him. Need
that
him.
would be amazing. That would be so entertaining.
I got mine.
Yeah, who would be your four, Kevin?
So I like Adam. I like Adam to replace that Ernie, the journalist.
Yeah, come
Yes.
on now, you need
You
somebody.
need that. It ties it all together.
Absolutely. Who I replace Shaq with is Kevin Garnett.
Okay, that's definitely.
Big ticket.
Big ticket, yep.
I feel it.
I'd add Draymond. Love his personality, bro. Love his personality.
I love Draymond, and this is like love Draymond, and I think that he's gonna be a great sports host and analyst and all this stuff. But even with my content, I've realized like I just recently posted a video right on my page, and maybe you guys have seen it, maybe you guys haven't seen it. But I met Draymond and I met Kawhi Leonard. I think so highly of Draymond Green. I think he's amazing on and off the court. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's my guy, right? But clearly in my video, people don't like him. Like, I saw a complete drop-off. Like, when I was on camera with Kawhi Leonard, the views skyrocketed. But when Draymond was on the screen, they didn't do anything. And so it's like, I feel like people want to see certain players and don't want to see other players. And I feel like ultimately having somebody like that on the panel could hurt it. You know what I mean? Even though I personally would like to see it,
Right.
I'm just thinking about like
A holistic view,
perspective of how people view like the most hated players. And like Joel Embiid is hated, but
Not like Draymond.
It's that love to hate.
it's love to hate, exactly.
That love to hate
I
ratio.
feel like Draymond on something like this will give people an opportunity to see the side that we saw.
And I think so, but I don't think people care.
I was about to say.
I don't think people care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but I hear you. I definitely hear you. Yeah.
And last would be Carmelo Anthony.
Melo keep it a buck.
smooth.
Melo keep it a buck.
Melo keep it a buck. Yeah, Melo gonna give you the truth.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? He's not gonna
yeah.
sugarcoat too much. He's not gonna. But that's also the thing. He might be hard to produce.
Now, these are all my people are very big personalities.
Yeah, I love that.
As a producer, you gotta
Yeah,
bring them in.
yeah.
Yep.
But I feel like
They did
That
a
would
good
make
job
it
with
going.
Chuck
you give them
and
some
them.
time, I feel like they
That
have
would go
that
on.
same
Uh-huh.
synergy as them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, you said you did with Chuck, but like Chuck was his whole career was like already in the media.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? In a funny way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like they,
true.
you know,
They
they
just play on that.
yeah, they,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like that's why I feel like they had him and Shaq because of their experience in, you know, early in their career, they were like marquee names and commercials and ads and that's why those guys are pushed in that way. Like
Yeah.
you'll see certain NBA players or certain people that get that media opportunity and stuff like that, and it's because they know how productions work. You know what I
right,
mean?
true,
So it's
okay.
like I feel like that's a little bit that goes into it too. So Draymond Green, for example, is a person who does extremely well in those situations, but it's like I'm thinking from a viewership standpoint that'd be hard to kind of like.
How about instead of Draymond, we go Big Perkins?
I like Perk.
I like Perk too. I just it's just also he gets some of that hate too. You know, but Perk keep it a buck. I like
He
it.
can keep it a buck.
But like you can
You
can interchange them at that
Yeah, because
point.
when you say those names, I don't think of a main host or a main person. I mean, I do like in their own capacities, but like for shows like that, I don't see them, you know, kind of filling a main role. I don't really kind of see that from them. I think that they'd come on and they would give valuable minutes and valuable time. I think they could be regulars and featured regularly. But as far as like being the main people that we are gonna see, the main personalities, that's where it gets a little like, not really.
And it's tough. So it's like, who's your favorite sports commentator and why? I mean, we think about all these things and we think about kind of like who does what and who's good at what, or who has a career in sports entertainment and been around for a minute. But at the same time, we need to look at like a guy like Kenny the Jet Smith. Like I didn't see him as like the marquee person of his time, but he was a person that, you know, won some championships, competed at a high level, and then, you know, when he got into his media and entertainment role in sports commentating and stuff like that, he did it really well. So I think that there might be a few guys out there that may be slipping through the cracks as far as like people that we haven't necessarily seen on camera or on TV right now, that they'll probably focus a little bit more on the later end of their career. And I see, ABC and ESPN trying to do that with younger talent. They brought Josh Hart in during the finals. They brought Chris Paul in. They brought Julius Randle in. They brought a lot of players that are currently still playing and giving them the opportunity. And I think under the new media deal of rights, we're going to see a lot more of that, where current players are coming in after their season is finished and being able to be sports commentators and adding their 2 cents in that capacity. But yes, what real life sporting moment or figure would you like to see a movie or TV adaptation of?
Real life sports moments.
Or figure. You would like to see adapted into a movie or TV.
Man, real life sports. A lot of them have been touched on. Is there anyone? Man, I think a lot of the ones that I would be curious about, ones that I wasn't present for, things like Malice at the Palace, like, you know what I mean? Things like that have already been kind of set.
You want to see bro box?
I'm just saying, like, those were ones I wasn't present for that I would want to relive or want to see again because I wasn't there, or you know what I mean? But it's like one of those most talked about. Yeah, they did one.
Okay, you want to see them go into detail on it, though?
No, what I'm saying is, like, I think the ones that kind of really bring me to a point of, like, oh, like, I really would like to see this, like, they've kind of already been done, for me personally. I can't really think of anything, off the top of my head that's new that I'm like, man, they really should do one on that. They've done plenty on LeBron. I mean, he's got, like, 3. I think. I mean, the stories continue to come out, to be honest with you. These networks are doing a great job of popping these documentaries out and kind of giving you some of these insides of some of these players and kind of their journey and how they got there. Wemby's got one. Luka's got one. I mean, yeah, I've been seeing them pop up. So
yeah, I think the NBA has done a good job too of like they also have started something called Passing the Rock or Passing the Torch or something with some of the younger guys in the league right now, getting a little bit more of a shine on camera and being able to follow them in their journey and stuff like that. At the same time, like that is true, and I feel like a lot of this stuff has been done. Hear me out. I feel like if we did some type of sports series or documentary on like NBA athletes or basketball moments where like guys got injured, you know what I mean? Like, so we talk about some of the most influential basketball players in the game that like never really got the recognition that they deserve. And yeah, a lot of people love them and a lot of people know how great they are. But like, if we did like a movie or a documentary or a TV show or something following, Derrick Rose, you know what I mean? Or like telling the Derrick Rose story, telling the Brandon Roy story, telling the Grant Hill story, the Penny Hardaway story, the Tracy McGrady story. Like if we made a series around that and put that in one about like the guys that got injured and talking about that side of it and the mental health things and, everything, all of that, you know what I mean?
Really
being
cool.
At the top. And then, you being at the top of somebody's roster, being a marquee star, and then learning how to find your role within it and, maintaining your career and supporting your family and maintaining sponsorships and shoe deals and endorsements. And, I think that would be an amazing thing to do, kind of like that hasn't been done.
Yeah.
That hasn't really been, we talked about it, people, spread a little bit of light. There's been videos and stuff, but like, never like anything of real substance, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like that creates a space. That definitely creates a space for sure for a lot of conversations and a lot of different things to happen through that. So
okay. All right, so we're moving on. When we think about, great TVs and movies and stories and stuff like that, what's your favorite sports movie, not basketball related?
Not basketball, but it could be any sport. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh. Give me like the Mighty Ducks, bro. I like the story.
Okay.
Give me the Mighty Ducks.
Okay. I didn't expect that. I did not expect the Mighty Ducks. That's, D3, the Mighty Ducks, you know what I'm saying? Disney joint, the Disney joint.
Yes, sir. I definitely grew up off that one. And the storyline on that one is dope. So, yeah, definitely love that one. That's a childhood one. So.
Okay. All right. So we got hockey. I would have to say my favorite very favorite sports movie of all time will have to be Remember the Titans. Remember the Titans is a good one. For me, I feel like it touched on a lot of different things. You know what I mean? It bridged together like a bunch of players that were coming from different backgrounds and stuff like that. My favorite sports movies are movies like that, the feel-good movies, you know, and like they're fighting adversity, there are sort of challenges in it. And yeah, like growing up, like now that I think about it, a couple of my favorite movies are like football movies. And then side note, another movies that's sports related that I really was a huge fan of was Radio.
Oh yeah,
like that's one that we don't even think about, and I think it's because the main actor Cuba Gooding has some things going on, but that movie itself,
it was big.
Hey, that was pulling on the heartstrings. I ain't gonna lie to you.
No,
that was a good one.
A classic.
What do you think, Kevin? What's your favorite?
Friday Night Lights is
yeah, that's a classic.
Classic.
I feel like as a
booty
football player, I feel like that's one of them ones that like
win that booty spin, boy.
Yeah, Friday Night Lights is cool. Waterboy.
Yeah, Waterboy was
that's
good.
one of the faves.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Yeah, it's all good.
Football joints.
Yeah, Waterboy was a good one too.
Another one, basketball related. Air Bud.
I was gonna go there, but we was doing non-basketball.
Exactly, we were non-basketball related. That's the next.
I would throw you some honorable mention.
No. That's the next. Honorable mention, non-basketball.
Not basketball.
Not basketball.
Angels in the outfield.
Okay. That's a good
in the
one.
outfield.
That's a one. Hardball.
Hardball. That's the
baby. Oh my God, that's a good one. That's a good one too.
Oh yeah, there's some good non-basketball. Yeah,
you got any that you want to add?
Y'all named them all, so I can't.
Yeah.
We could throw in things like Southpaw. I like Southpaw. I like Creeds. The Creeds are
the
good.
$1 Million Baby.
$1 Million Babies. You know what I mean? We could throw some of those in there too. Those are really good. Rocky.
Yeah.
The Rocky series.
That's a classic. That's a classic.
Unbeatable.
We will be, I think y'all would go crazy on this right now if we did not mention Rocky. So our apologies for mentioning it so late. But it's up there for sure. Cinderella Man. See, what are y'all favorite sports movies of all time, not basketball related? Those are all good ones. But now we're moving into what are your favorite basketball movies of all time? And you know what I mean, I'm gonna go first.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was gonna let you go first on this.
My thing, you know what I mean, there's a lot of great ones out there, and you know what I mean, we can go off of the, you know what I'm saying, the classics. You know what I mean? I'm gonna leave the classics out of there. We gonna rank the classics in a minute. We're gonna rank the Space Jams, the Like Mike's, Coach Carter's, Loving Basketball, and He Got Game. So those are out of the question right now. You know what I mean? Those are great ones.
What about Above the Rim?
See, I couldn't even get to that. I couldn't even get to talking about it. Above the Rim is a great one.
That one is.
When we're thinking about basketball movies, I would have to say like Glory Road is probably one of my. Yeah, Glory Road is probably my favorite basketball movie. Not on that list right now, just because, as I mentioned earlier, I'm a big fan of those movies that are going to pull on your heartstrings a little bit. Those movies that are going to tell a little bit of the story, have some historical context based on a true story. And you know what I mean? Those guys playing basketball at that time
was
and
huge.
Making it as far as they did is great. And we talked about it a little bit earlier on the podcast as far as what basketball movies have we seen, or what basketball movies haven't we seen, or sports movies haven't we seen that we want to see in real life. I'm not gonna lie to you. I need to see the Bionic story, bro.
Right.
I need to see.
Right.
I need to see that. I need to see. You know what I'm saying? The grind with the Harlem Globetrotters. You know what I'm saying? How he got where he was going. You know, the ball of his life, all that stuff. Because like I was really thinking about, all right, like when you think about historical context and stuff like that, like the Harlem Globetrotters would be a good story and stuff like that. But like, yeah, if we can work that all into my story, like, why not? But what's your favorite basketball movie?
Man, so you definitely stole mine. Glory Road, definitely.
That's why I had to go first.
Top of the charts when
there.
it comes to sports movies for me, especially being a coach and sports development and things like that. It's just like I definitely love the classics, the Hoosiers, the Coach Carters, the Glory Roads. Definitely would be at the top of my list for sure. I mentioned Hoosiers. I'll definitely put that up there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Definitely another good story, a classic. One of those ones that definitely tells a story, pulls on heartstrings, all that good stuff. So, yeah, Glory Road and Hoosiers, I'm going to put them up there with each other.
All right. You guys got any basketball movies that you guys like? We heard earlier from Emmanuel We heard Above the Rim, which is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good one.
This one I ain't think about. Juwanna Man.
I thought about it. It's a good one, but like
too
it ain't,
comedic, too fun.
Yeah, too.
There's nothing wrong with that, but just when I'm thinking about
this,
my favorites.
Yeah, and especially in this climate, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel you.
Especially in this climate, that really can happen, bro.
Right?
Like,
No, seriously.
Like it's funny, but it's not funny, in my opinion.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Ain't no Uber, so.
Yeah, I feel it.
Foreshadowing.
White Man Can't Jump too.
Two?
Stop it, bro.
Yeah, you
Stop
The
it,
recent
bro.
one.
Stop
gotta-
it. White Man
talked
Can't
about
Jump
that.
too is cool, but like White Man Can't Jump is like.
Yeah, they should have paid homage. We talked about that. They should have paid homage. Duck and what's his name? And two should have been Sidney Dean and Billy Oil for sure. Definitely should have been the Legends of the Park in number 2. I think that would have spun it a little bit differently. Would have kind of made it a little better.
Yeah. So like, yeah, I mean, I saw it, but it wasn't like it wasn't.
hit.
It was a movie, but it wasn't. It didn't feel as cinematic as the first one.
Mhm.
You know,
I like that.
it was a lot more drama. Like the drama felt too fabricated. Now it felt like it felt real Gen Z-ish. Like I felt like I was really like I don't know how to explain that. Like, in no disrespect to Gen Z, but it felt like a TikTok movie.
If you know, you know. You definitely
Yeah,
understood that. We
like-
understand.
Okay,
I understood
all right,
it.
thank you.
I understood
Y'all
it.
got me, y'all feel
As
me?
soon as you said it was Gen Z-ish, bro, there's an understanding.
Yeah, it really felt like that. Like,
100%.
you know what I mean? Like,
Because the first one, like you said, the authentic problems, the authentic-ish situation with your girl, your money, the way you moving around trying to get it, like, definitely authentic situations, and the way it transpired was definitely something that we can all feel and see and recognize with each other. So, yeah, and then the other one, yeah, just kind of a little bit more scripted out.
yeah, and just childish.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, I felt like the first one, they was going through real life, and like the second one, they was going through real life stuff, but it was just, how they went about it was childish.
Yeah.
Personally,
It didn't feel like my culture, bro. Like,
Mhm.
me personally, I didn't think it needed a sequel. Like,
It didn't.
I always feel like when you make sequels to classics, they never live up to
The classic.
and that's the thing, especially if you try to go in a completely different direction.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, it don't have to be exactly the same. Like, yeah, of course the guys are older and stuff like that, but you gotta integrate, like you said, pay homage and integrate them in some way to, the Billy Hoyle and the Sidney Dean. Like, they should have been like, oh, they were legends in the game and they did this. They got their own tournament and now we're playing in their tournament.
Exactly.
And, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can't just like you just, it's a whole new thing with some, but like with Jack Harlow and I don't want to go too.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. We understand.
I liked the movie. I watched it. It was entertaining. But let's go ahead and rank these sports movies from 1 to 5, starting with Space Jam, Like Mike, Coach Carter, Love and Basketball, and He Got Game. So 1 through 5, what are you ranking?
Can we go
those?
first?
Yeah.
All right. So again, for me, my list is compiled of movies that are gonna, hit home for me, and that are gonna, create some inspiration in me, some motivation, gonna teach me some things. So at the top of that list for sure is gonna go Coach Carter. Coach Carter goes number 1 for me, no question. To follow that up, a movie that I grew up on, love it. This is a battle between Space Jam and Like Mike. It's gonna go back and forth. But I'm gonna put Like Mike in front of that one.
Okay.
I was a huge Bow Wow fan growing up.
Okay,
You know what I'm
okay.
saying? That was a big one for me. Play a T-top. Yeah, love that one. Then Space Jam would follow right after that. Then Love and Basketball, as I grew up, you know what I mean? That became, obviously a movie that goes above, they're Like Mike's and Space Jams. But if I gotta rank the movies, you know what I mean? That's how I'm gonna rank them. And then He Got Game is gonna go at the bottom of that list, only because it was a little bit more of a dramatic sports movie for me, and you know what I mean, although I relate to it, and although I feel it, although I love it, it just was a lot slower paced, a lot more drama filled.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean, that's why it goes at the bottom of the list for me.
I hear that. That's a very good list, and so my list is compiled of things that I feel like throughout the test of time, like I can refer back to them, and like I can watch those, and in viewing the movie and my experience in watching the movie, I'm gonna have a somewhat similar experience the first time watching it as I do now. And those type of movies for me, like number one is Coach Carter, because it doesn't matter how old you are watching that movie, you're going to feel how you feel about that, you know what I mean? So number one is Coach Carter. I'm going to go number two, Space Jam. That Space Jam movie was well done. You know what I mean? You see the poster. We got the Space Jam poster up here right now, so it's definitely one of those things, one of those movies that's very authentic to who I am as a person. I think that could never be done. They shot number two, and LeBron did he ain't do too bad in that. So that's number two. Number three, I'm gonna go Love and Basketball. Love and Basketball is one of those movies where I can watch, again, like I said, anytime, any place. And I could watch with a girl, you know what I'm saying? It really talked about that basketball love story. And it followed people from kids to adults, and you know what I mean? It was a really mature storyline, but it still had some drama, and it had basketball at the same time. But it told a real story, and it helped people understand, in my eyes, like when I saw a movie like that come out at an early age, injuries, dealing with that type of stuff, and you know what I mean, like you might be the most promising basketball player, but like if you're not really on it, if you don't really take it serious, if you falter in one way or other, if you let these girls distract you, if you let the idea of, hey, my dad's an NBA player, or my dad's got all these connections or whatever, like I'm next up, like it could hinder you. And like if you push yourself too hard, try to get back on the court, if you're too cocky, like all those things, like seeing that play out for Quincy was like very, very eye-opening. And then Monica, her whole journey was great too. So then after that, I'm gonna have to put He Got Game. Again, like I said, I like the more drama. I want something that's a little bit more mature at this age. If y'all asked me a little bit in my adolescence or younger, I probably would put Like Mike a little bit higher. And then coming in at number 5, I'm gonna have Like Mike, just because, like I said, it's very, very childish. You know what I mean? So it's like now at this age, watching it's gonna give me nostalgia, but like it's not gonna do anything for my life right now. You know what I mean? It's not gonna. It's not really gonna hit the same. And all those other movies, I feel like I can still learn lessons from them, and that I can apply to real life right now. When I do got kids though, like Mike might have a little bit more of an inspirational effect to me and my offspring or whatever, to be able to inspire them and motivate them to. Doesn't matter. Like you could be a little kid and play in the NBA. Like what I mean, having them dream a little bit more. I feel like that's what a movie like Mike does.
Absolutely. I ask you a question about Coach Carter in general. Honestly, for both of y'all, but watching Coach Carter young, being an athlete, and then now you watching it again as a coach. Like, do you get a completely different message now as a coach than you did as a kid? And you've trained people as well, Bionic. So like
I've coached as well.
Yeah,
so don't stand on me on the
Nah.
coaching tip.
Bionic over there.
Don't stand on me on the coaching tip.
Coach Bionic over there.
Y'all talked about like the message from Coach Carter and stuff like that. Do y'all see Samuel's character side now being a coach? And
Interesting. Oddly enough, strangely enough, obviously it's a bit more mature approach and a more mature take, but like I think I received a similar message. I think I received a similar message being younger and being a player and watching that, and also being a coach. It's like I think I received the same message and the same understanding as far as like, the deep lessons that were being taught in the movie, they resonate the same as a player and as a coach. I think I'm using the same things because like as a player, it's humility and you know what I mean, service to cause greater than self and things like that. So same with coaching. I mean, it's the same thing. Humility, service to cause greater than self. Samuel L. Jackson dealt with a lot of things. You know what I mean? A lot of people that weren't on board with what he was doing, and he was trying to help young men, and he was really trying to grow them. And then same with them. They didn't really understand the help that was being provided to them, and so they pushed back against change, of course. You know what I mean? And as a young kid, you're just like, like I got this. I'm gonna do me. I got the best interest of myself. and things like that. So I think the message for me kind of resonated the same, more mature, now than then. But you turn it on and you get what you get.
You get the message, and that's why I rank the movies the way I rank them in that sense. Because a movie like Coach Carter, watching it young and watching it now is like I personally got that same message. And maybe I was before my time. Maybe I'm an old soul. But like,
sure.
I definitely felt, like their struggle, their plight. I wasn't on the player side. I wasn't, because I knew what it was to buy into a team because I've been playing team sports. I knew what it was to have a greater message. I knew what it was to, how to carry myself off the court. I knew I had to, like my mama raised me the right way. She told me that I couldn't be out here just in the street gang banging and, selling drugs and doing all these things, even though I saw people in my neighborhood and community doing the same thing, even though I have family members doing that type of stuff. Like, she was like, no, I want you to, have your head on straight and understand that, like, you have to be disciplined. And, I don't care what they tell you. Like, when you get on that coach, listen, or when you get on that court, listen to your coach. My mom used to be a coach. My granddaddy was a coach. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I understand that type of mentality, and I learned all them lessons at a young age to where you would see, like, the dynamics of, like, players not getting along or, some of the issues that we face playing basketball in this climate, and I still experiencing that to this day. Like, a lot of people don't know how to, like you mentioned, buy into a cause greater than self, and work in a team dynamic and pass the ball and be unselfish on or off the court, or look out for your brother when it's like, hey, you got 100 sprints or 100 push-ups, and people are like, all right, well, like, I'm gonna take something off your plate. You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna work together as a team. And like you said, building these young men up, building them up in a capacity to where they can be, successful, men after they left the school or they left the program. And like, I always feel like that. Like, I feel like you should leave things better than you found them. And so when Coach Carter came into that dynamic situation, like, he was like, no, I'm changing this. We're going to steady table. Y'all grades going to be right. You know what I mean? And we're gonna hoop, but we're going to do it the right way. I'm not going to sacrifice morals, values, characters just to win the championship. You're going to have to sit out. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't going, we all going to sit out. I'm not going to play. So it's like, I love those type of movies. I love that type of, messaging. And that's just how I'm wired. I'm wired as a type of person that, like, everybody involved in everything. If you sign up for something, you got to take accountability and follow through on what you committed to. You can't just let things fall through the cracks and just be like, all right, well, my teammate got it, or my coach got it, or the school got it. It's like, no, you committed to this team. You signed this paper to, hey, I'm gonna keep my grades up. I'm gonna follow through. I'm gonna put in the work that's required to make this team. You know what I mean? So like, when you get to the end of it, don't be complaining or acting like, oh, I got this on my plate, or I got that on my plate. I got a baby on the way. I got this. I got that. These are all decisions you're making. So it's like, that's the most frustrating thing to me, is see that in the basketball sense, in the basketball world, of people not having to be accountable on the basketball floor, whether it's on the defensive end or the offensive end, not running our sets, not knowing what's going on. Like, Coach Carter helped everybody accountable on and off the floor. And like, that's just something I truly believe in as a person in life.
Shoot, even the admin, that boy was even holding the admin.
Yeah, come on, bro. Like, everybody, yeah.
I feel like Coach Carter's, the message from Coach Carter is timeless. I do feel like it's a lost art now because of the media and how things is, and it's like, I feel like a lot of young athletes come in like, I gotta get mine,
man,
because I'm seeing the Cayennes and the Bronnies getting theirs. Like, I gotta get mine. I was like, no.
We humble that. That's why we love good coaches like Coach Carter, who humble that real quick. You come in my gym, we ain't doing none of that.
No egos.
No egos. Exactly.
Yeah, like, and that's what we're seeing with Team USA basketball right now. That's basketball in its highest form. That's why I like what I see right now, and I'm excited for, like, the direction basketball is going now. I hope the NBA is watching.
Yes.
I hope the NBA is ready to implement some of these things and making sure that their basketball and their product is continued to play at a high level, whether it's actual in-season games, in-season tournament cup games, finals games, all-star games, whatever. Like, the brand of basketball has to be better. And we are seeing the highest form of basketball right now with the Olympics, and people are playing hard. Even in pool play, they're playing all the way to the end. They're trying to, run up the score. And a lot of times in basketball, that's taboo. You know what I mean? But no, like, bump that, bro. Like you gotta hoop, bro. Like you gotta keep playing.
Yeah,
like
we need stops, we need buckets.
And that's why it's great to see the NBA Cup, because like early in their pool play, you have that type of energy to where it's like every point matters. So teams are playing all the way to the end.
Yep.
And that's what we want to see. We don't want to see you take out your starters in the third quarter because you're down by 30 and then they not touch the floor the whole fourth quarter, because we see a lot of that in the NBA.
Yeah,
and it's like, I'm tired of that. You know what I mean? I don't want to see that. I want to see guys playing. I want to see, I want to see every little thing matter. So that's great. You know, to recognize like just where basketball is going, what we're doing, and how guys are responding, and what we're seeing in the hopefully in the younger generations and what they're paying attention to right now, because basketball I feel like is now changing, you know, directions. It's not so much highlight oriented in my eyes. I think that we're getting back to more basketball in its truest form.
Gotta play.
And women's basketball is a big part of the resurgence of that. You know what I mean? And that's why they're so hot right now. It's because people are like, no,
it's basketball.
It's basketball. It's none of the flopping stuff. It's none of the, you know what I mean, like the bad call. Like they are getting to it.
And if you ask me, I like the physical play. These women are not scared to put a body on somebody, get hit, get up. They ain't crying about it. They just, you know what I'm saying? I love that. Love watching that.
Yeah, I just think that I hope that we can find a better bridge with like defense and offense. Like it's gotten less physical on the NBA side of things, and on the defense, but it's gotten more physical on the offense. What I want to see is, you know, like I personally, how I want to see basketball play is if they're going to remove hand checking from defense, they got to remove hand checking from offense.
Offense, yep, absolutely.
You can't
sit
here and grab somebody's arm
and hold
hips, and grab somebody and use that arm to obtain position. If you got moves and you got footwork, you got around them because you got around them. You know what I mean? And you didn't get around them because you grabbed his hand and then moved the other way. Like, I don't want to see none of that in basketball anymore. Because you take that away from the defense, take that away from the offense. You know what I mean? Like, I hate the swim. I hate that. I'm sorry. That's just not how I play. Like, if I use that to my advantage every time and grab somebody and elbow them and move them and all that stuff, basketball would be different for me. You know what I mean? But I don't play like that on purpose. You know what I mean? I can shoulder people and elbow them and grab them. You know.
It's just part of the game.
You know, that's how I used to do cats. You know what I mean? So everybody want to act like, you know, Bionic don't be going hard or whatever. I don't go hard because I don't want to hurt nobody, one. And two, it's just not that deep, you know what I mean? Like, I either got it or I don't. I either made a good play or I didn't, you know what I mean? We the other way with it. Yeah, I hate seeing that in the league right now. I hate seeing trainers train that too.
Yeah.
Like, I hate seeing them when you get up there and you do this and
it's like I
that.
do want an active offhand. I do want you to shield and protect yourself. I do want you to block, you know, from here to there. But you said that extra grabbing of the wrist, that pushing away, that using it for an advantage to create some type of advantage. Just it's like, no, I can protect and shield.
Yeah.
No, I can keep you off me, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to hold my ground and stand my position. Totally different.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think it's just a good point. So we're going to switch gears a little bit. We're going to talk about athletics and other areas of entertainment. And is there any other basketball players that you think any other basketball players you see succeeding in entertainment? Okay. Are there any basketball players that you can see succeeding in the areas of entertainment?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We spoke on personalities earlier that could kind of fill the panel and fill the roles of inside NBA. And that would be, you know, definitely those guys that are taking over the space. We mentioned Anthony Edwards. I think he does a phenomenal job in the acting space.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. That's my number one pick, but go ahead.
I think he's an absolute natural. I think that's just, it's kind of that Kevin Hart effect, right? He's just being himself.
The charisma.
And yep, just him being himself it translates to very good viewers, you know, very good character on the camera, very good, you know, presence and things like that. So I think Anthony Edwards would be, the premier guy, you know, for that. Guys, I mean, we've seen Shaq and things like Kazam and Yeah,
Don't stun on Shaq.
I'm saying I'm segueing. I'm saying we've seen guys like Shaq, you know what I mean, and Kazam, and
you better put some respect on
it. Oh yeah, absolutely. What's the
dog?
superhero movie? He was in the superhero joint. Steel. There we go. And so a guy I could also see in that space filling that type of role in shoes would be a guy like Joel Embiid for sure. Like I think he'd be super funny in some movies, and to play a superhero like that, I think now that would be something I would want to see revamped. You know what I mean? With like a Joel Embiid, I think that would be hilarious. I think that could be well done. So you heard it here first.
Okay, I like that. I think that was a good one. Anthony Edwards is probably the marquee number one guy right now in the league as far as young talent, and I think that a lot of people have talked about it. If Jason Tatum had Anthony Edwards' personality, like he would be seen as the face of the NBA right now. But because he doesn't have that type of attitude and that type of mindset and stuff, you know what I mean? He's not. And it's also interesting too because I just watched the USA basketball team play against Serbia, and Jason Tatum didn't get any playing time. Imagine coming off of an NBA championship, and then you come into the Olympics, and you're not even playing, and guys like Derek White and Drew Holiday are getting more playing time than you are.
I'm not super surprised.
And it's something about, in my eyes, the mindset.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And just like how you go about it. Like JT is tough. He's really a good basketball player, but at some point there's a cog missing on the character side of things. Not saying that he's a low character guy by any means, because he does all the right things, and he's a leader, and he plays hard, and I just want to see him take more of that step forward as far as like being a little bit more expressive, and leading his troops emotionally. And I feel like off the floor and even on the floor, he's not really. We haven't seen a lot of it.
That dog. I think he plays with that dog, but I don't think he expresses that dog.
Okay.
I think his game is, I got that dog. I can do my thing.
Yes.
But he don't got that dog. You know what I mean? Like I'm a step over you to do it. I'm gonna run through you to do it, type of thing.
He's just very laid back, and JT fans know that.
Exactly. I mean,
JT, that's why they like him, because he's so smooth and he's laid back.
And he could do that.
That's a JT fan. He definitely gonna be in the comments.
I mean,
it's cool, but if you in the comments, is he not a smooth guy? Is he not a laid back guy? Just sometimes he's just too cool. He's just too cool. You know what I mean? Like that's just what it is. Like. And I think I want to see JT go to his villain era one time. I want to see him in his villain era one time. You know what I'm saying? When he stepped on the scene, it's because he dunked on Bron and then chest bumped Bron. Like
full Mamba mentality.
That's why people was like, JT.
Like, okay.
JT, he ain't ducking no smoke. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's a very good point. Stephen Curry, I feel like, is now more so stepping into that lane, and I think he's going to do a really good job in movie, sports, entertainment, sports broadcasting, stuff like that. Yeah, he's definitely doing some stuff with Peacock as well. So I've seen Stephen Curry on screen a little bit more, and I think he's going to do a good job. And I definitely want to throw one more name in there. Let me find it real quick, because I think that it's important that we have, like a big man with charisma and, with stuff like that, able to do well on camera. I know we've seen Giannis. Do it. So I think he's done a good job of being able to be that type of fun guy on camera. Has a good level of comedic element that he adds, dad jokes and stuff like that. I like his personality in that sense. I'm trying to think of another big with personality that. Nah, I don't want to see it. I mean, Boban is a fan favorite, so he's going to do well wherever he goes. I'm just, it's tough. It's not really like a lot of bigs with like. Big personality, like no Dwight Howard. You know what I mean? Like if Dwight Howard would have stuck around in the league and not been on some stuff that he was on, then I would say what. But I don't think people want to see him anymore. I think it's kind of like that point. Who else?
Yeah, because actually I would have said him instead of Joel Embiid for a superhero role or something like that.
Exactly.
Dwight would have been my first choice for sure, but
it's just kind of like it's certain players that kind of like play their way out of that, and certain people that make their way back around after going through something as being out the league or whatever. It's just like Dwight Howard got to the point where he was almost reaching for that rather than just like letting it come to him. you know what I mean, it was more controversial. Sebastian Telfair has been kind of on doing kind of similar things recently in the media and talking about things in a way to where it's like people, we hear where you're coming from, but at the same time, like, you gotta relax. Like Matt Barnes is a person that I feel like has done a good job of almost flipping the narrative, because when he was a player, people didn't want to see that. People didn't want to see him.
But now,
you know what I mean? But now he's done a good job of being able to, you know, tailor himself in to be able to be a person or a figure to be able to have insight that people want to listen to. One person that we didn't throw on our sports commentating or broadcasting panel that I do want to bring up is Jeff Teague. Jeff Teague has done a great job. That's one that I feel like is underrated, because he's a great storyteller. He's funny. That's somebody like Kenny Smith, in my eyes, that you didn't see, you know what I mean, in that position. But as they're getting the opportunities, you're like, wait, I really like watching Jeff Teague on.
Hey man, let me tell y'all something, bro. Our man's just kind of good at this, man. We let y'all know, bro. He's just kind of good at this, kind of picking pieces and put just GM type status. I'm just telling y'all, he's just kind of good at this.
It's funny that I'm good at doing that and projecting that with teams and putting teams together. I don't know if y'all have seen it yet, but I got a video coming out with Jeff Balboy and Jesser. We're putting together a 2K team, and mine from top to bottom, I was trying to make sure I had the best team available and being very, very strategic in that sense. And I want all cogs in the machine to be able to be in position to be able to make the engine go. But sometimes, you know what I mean? Hey, man, certain pieces don't fit, and you can't force it. You can't force it. Do not force pieces in positions that they're not meant to be in. But when it comes to, you know, me, you know, thinking about my dream teams and, you know what I mean, being able to figure it out and think about it, like I feel like I got a good mind with, you know what I'm saying, making things work. We talked a little bit about, like, basketball players in sports and entertainment, but there's been a lot of basketball players that have made the transition from basketball to music. What are your favorite basketball players turned rappers?
Top of that list right now, Dame Dollar. Probably one of the best in my eyes to seamlessly be able to do music and play basketball at a high level.
Okay, I like that. I think that's a good start. So who are your top 3 basketball players that started making music?
So we'll go Damian Lillard. I want to be a little critical here. Am I like, do I like their music, or is it just a basketball player I like that makes music?
I'm not answering that. I refuse to answer that. Answer the question.
It can go a couple different ways, but
answer the question.
It's open-ended.
All right, I'm gonna go. He said it's open-ended. Okay, I'm gonna go Dame Dollar. He's going at the top of the list. A lot of y'all don't know, but he makes some Detroit style music, and I like it. Miles Bridges. Miles Bridges.
That was one.
Flint native, makes some Detroit style music, so I definitely like Miles Bridges. And then, you know what I mean. His wife does music. Amon Shumpert, I think he's pretty decent. I like listening to him a little bit.
You mean ex-wife?
Ex-wife. Excuse me. My bad. Excuse me. Ooh, yes, absolutely.
I think Ty hit the nails on the head with those. I think those are all great options. Top 3 basketball players that have made music, in my eyes, I would definitely go Dame Dollar number 1. Damian Lillard has changed how we view basketball players that rap. He, you know what I mean? Like he's a basketball player and also a rapper. He's not a basketball player that raps in my eyes. You know what I mean? He's 2 different things in one. I feel like other players have been basketball players that tried to rap. But the person who set the precedence to be able to make this even possible is Shaquille O'Neal. Absolutely. So number 1, I'm going Damian Lillard. Number 2, I'm going Shaquille O'Neal. And number 3, I'm going Kevin Durant. Hey. I like Kevin Durant as a rapper. I don't feel like we've been able to hear a lot of KD's authentic raps and a lot of stuff that he has actually made. Yeah. But I feel like KD is a guy that sat back and made some music from DC. You know what I'm saying? Good ties with Wale. I really feel like, you know what I mean, his music and the way he approaches it is very smooth. It's like his game is very relaxed. He's not trying too hard. But like now in some of his music, I think he made a song with Stali lately, and like he was able to talk about his real life a little bit more and say some things that like maybe 5 years ago, 10 years ago when he was at his prime and maybe could have did it the hardest, he wasn't able to talk about because he was just trying to stay clean image and stuff like that. But now it's like a lot more things are acceptable in this day and age and in society and stuff like that. So KD really talking his talk, and he's accepting the role like, yo, I'm the Slim Reaper now. I won a couple of championships. I now can flex a little bit more. And I think that says a lot about like his rap style. So those would be my personal top 3 basketball players turned rappers.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to put KD on my list. I haven't heard enough from him.
Yes.
I heard some things, but I haven't heard enough from him. So that's why I was like, ooh, like ones that I'm listening to that are really good, or just some of my favorite basketball players that have been in both lanes, because KD would definitely be one of those for sure.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even, because my list was like yours with the exception of Miles Bridges, that's my 3. But I put Shaq in there because of him being a DJ.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he truly just...
Shaq is
Shaq
big.
was an MC
Shaq did everything. As far as...
I heard some of his rap.
Yeah, basketball player music, like you said, he paved the way for a lot of that right there. Like, you cannot sleep on Shaq as far as an entertainer, movies, all of it. Like,
Shaq is him.
Shaq is him.
I heard some of his raps and stuff like that, but like, I'm just, when you say Dame Dollar, just... He's
a
a musician as well. He is a rapper as well. Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a good point. And there's a lot of musicians that are good at basketball. Who are your top basketball players that are also rappers? Or who do you think? Oh my bad, I got mixed up. Who do you think are the best artists that can hoop?
I'm gonna let you go first because you know.
Okay, I don't know if y'all watch something called the Crew League, but I definitely have been a part of the Crew League. OHB, we definitely won the Crew League a few seasons back, and since then they've been ducking the smoke. So y'all know who the leader of that team is, but if y'all don't know, Chris Brown, that man can do everything. I know him. He definitely is a talented individual, and he definitely can really hoop, and it ain't no gimmick. Like, bro really can hoop. Been to this crib, he can hoop. Been seen him at, the TCL, really like that. Another person, talk about the DC area, talk about, AAU teams on the East Coast and stuff like that. Talk about KD. I got to throw Dave East in there. Dave East is a bona fide bucket shooter. He can knock down some open shots, play college ball. A lot of people say that if Dave East didn't choose the trapping and the rapping, he could have been an NBA player. So that's another one. And then, of course, my favorite artist, a person that I love, inspired me. His tapes got me through a lot of hard times. He actually has a mixtape that is iconic in our space that is titled the same as one of the iconic movies that Kevin mentioned in this podcast, Friday Night Lights. J. Cole. J. Cole is one of those artists and rappers that also, he played college basketball. He also went over in Africa and played professional basketball. And because he's actually given his time and his life to that type of grind right now, I think that he will probably be one of the better players right now because he definitely is, in the gym, definitely has worked on that type of stuff. So those are my top 3. My top 3 basketball players my top 3 artists that can also hoop. We got Chris Brown, Dave East, and J. Cole in no particular order.
I like that. Definitely was my list for sure. Because
that
is my list because they can actually hoop, like not just shooters. So I will mention one that you didn't mention, but I would put those, like you said, no particular order, but those would be top 3. Right after that, I would put someone like Quavo.
Yep.
Quavo can definitely ball. He's been in the spaces. He's been in the runs. I mean, I've seen him personally in some of the Rico Hines runs and things like that. My man's can actually ball. So I would definitely have to put him in that list, along with someone like Rowdy Rebel. Rowdy Rebel, I don't know if you guys know who that is, but he can actually ball a little bit. Like bro can actually ball. Like bro can get a bucket, like for sure. Like not just a stand there and shoot it or a pass and shoot it. I'm going to mention some names here. People going to flame me, but I don't really care. Drake, he could just shoot a little bit. I ain't really seen him dribble the ball or do anything. Can just shoot a little bit. The Justin Biebers, like Biebs. Biebs got some game, but again, just somebody that I see just kind of shooting the ball. don't ever see them actually like really hooping. So definitely like guys that can actually play the game.
Yeah, and I mean, I also want to mention somebody too. Honorable mention is Sheck West. I actually was a part of one of Sheck West's music videos, and he can actually hoop. He definitely can go. So I met Sheck West and saw him on set, played a little bit with him and stuff like that. Honestly, I don't even remember the name of the song that the music video was. But yeah, we went to Angel Gates Park, was hooping. Maybe we could throw some of that footage in there. You know, it was me and a few guys. Yeah, but like it was great meeting him on set, seeing, you know, how he actually plays the game, how he sees the game. They actually really liked me on set too. They was like, man, we want you to come to the next thing, but I was just busy, so I was like, I can't go to the next location because I got things to do. And then Cassius Stanley actually pulled up on us for this shoot too, so it's pretty cool. But yeah, that's somebody I want to mention, an honorable mention that I feel like can really hoop, and I think that the viewers and the people listening in at home would definitely respect and appreciate that because Sheck West can actually hoop.
He hooped too. I think I was just about to say he played ball.
Come on.
Now, two people that y'all didn't mention that I thought y'all was gonna mention, Master P.
Come on, bro. That's why. But see, like you getting in my bag now. Like, get out my bag. Let us finish the conversation before y'all start introducing all this stuff, because we also have something else that we want to talk about. We got to talk about. You know what I mean? I mentioned them. You know, you mentioned them. We got our top 3 artists, hoopers, and J. Cole, Chris Brown, and Dave East. Out of those 3 players, who do you think will win a King of the Court? And then when it comes to it for me, when I think about it, you know, everybody in their prime. Are we thinking about like everybody in their prime?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna go Dave East. If I'm thinking about everybody in their prime, I'm going with Dave East winning that King of the Court. From what I've seen, I feel like he has the best and purest jumper. And with his size at like 6'5", you know what I mean, that's going to be hard to handle. He can handle the ball a little bit. But like winning the King of the Court, I would say Dave East. If we're talking right now, I'm going with J. Cole, just because I feel like he's been in the gym. I don't know if Dave East been on the block or been in the studio a little bit. So, you know what I mean? I know Chris Brown's in shape, but I know he's been on tour and stuff like that. So I don't know if he's been hooping. But Cole will be the one I will have winning today. But in their prime, I'm going with Dave East.
Man. Sheesh. Yeah, that is super tough. And then, yeah, if I'm picking today, like you said, there's no question. I'm going with the seasoned guy, the guy that's in the gym, the guy that's getting the shots up today. That is definitely the guy who's going to show up and show out. I mean, we all know you can pick up the game and you can play it at any given time. But at the level of someone who's currently doing it, just kind of unmatched. You got to be in it to really be like that. Man, all time. I didn't see Chris Brown ball, bro. I didn't see him get to it. I didn't see him, bro, get to it, bro. So it's like on both ends of the floor, too, defensively and offensively. So King of the Court is a different monster, though.
Yeah.
1v1s is a different monster. Now. And so I wouldn't want to take Cole out of that, but I think the juggernauts of that would be East and Chris. Man, who would I give that to? That's tough. We just seen some 1v1s that just go the distance, bro.
Yeah.
And that one's going to go the distance if you ask me. I don't know. I got to see it. East, you need to get in the gym, buddy. Chris, get in the gym, buddy, because I need to see it. I don't even know if I can answer. I need to see it.
We need an answer, Ty. We ain't here for you to play defense. We need an answer, bro. That's a question on the pod for you to answer. Stop trying to play both sides, bro. They get you killed out here, bro.
I'm trying to duck the smoke.
Yeah, quit trying to duck the smoke, bro.
Ooh.
Answer the question.
Answer the question, bro. Go to your head.
Answer the question. Who you gonna choose?
I'm going with East, man.
Okay,
I'm gonna go with East, man. I'm gonna go with the block.
Chris Brown
they both some thugs, man.
Yeah.
Seen that clip? Going Chris Brown.
Bro can go, bro. Bro can go, and he the GOAT.
And he's still calling for you, Quavo. He's still.
That part.
Y'all seen the clip? Go ahead and play the clip. I'm sitting right next to Breezy as he talking greasy to Quavo, talking about, hey man, bring your ass out here, man. Like I'm like, okay, it's real in the field, bro. Really want that smoke?
Yeah, he been wanting to smoke.
Yeah, he gonna talk that and walk that. But now that we got that out the way, now we're gonna go to our celebrity starting 5. So who would you pick as your celebrity or rapper, artist, singer, whatever, starting 5 basketball player or team? I'm going to go first. So at the 1, I'm going to start with Chris Brown. At the 2, I'm going to go with Master P. At 3, I'm gonna go with J. Cole. The 4, I got Dave East, and at the 5, I got 2 Chainz. I think that I got a really good team right there when you really look at it. See, I got everybody in the room talking about, hey, hell no. I've been waiting for this one now. I think I got a really good team. When you really look at it, all those guys I feel like can really hoop. When we go Chris Brown, we touched on him a little bit more. That man can do everything. Bonafide hooper. We got Master P, probably the only rapper that made it to the NBA. So, you know what I mean? Shout out to Master P for that. He was really tough like that. And you see it in his offspring. All his sons can hoop. You know what I'm saying? All of them really go. That's
This is true.
And then you got J. Cole. We talked about Cole and his experience hooping, going overseas, international, playing. And you know what I mean? Next we got Dave East. 6'5" shooter, knockdown shooter, can do a little bit of everything. And then 2 Chainz. Play college basketball, one of the taller rappers, you know, that can actually hoop. And I met 2 Chainz at the Sports Academy. I did a dunk contest, and he was there, and he gave me some props. You know, we were able to shoot around, and he knows the game. He sees the game well. I think he's a little bit out of shape right now, but those would be my starting 5 rapper basketball players.
That's where I would struggle with big, and I never even thought about 2 Chainz, and 2 Chainz did
Titty
play.
boy!
He played in the Harlow game. It was 2 Chainz and Harlow had a team. I remember that. He did play. So, yeah, that would be the position I would struggle with right there. Okay. I'll run Chris at the 1, too, because I would definitely want East to be my scorer. So, I'm going to go Chris at the 1, East at the 2. I'm actually going to put Master P at the 4. And then I'm going to move.
Do you know how big Master P is?
Yeah.
How big is Master P? How tall is Master P?
6'4".
Nah. He around there. He
like 6'4".
I go now. I don't know if he's quite that tall.
Might be a little undersized for the position.
Yeah, he's
but,
really undersized.
You know, it is what it is. We talking celebrities here. Yeah, they ain't playing no league players.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I mean, I don't know if that was part of the question.
Yeah.
So I got Chris at the 1, Dave at the 2. I got P at the 4. I have, who would I put at my
3?
I'll give it to Cole. I would put Cole at my 3.
Okay.
I would put Cole at my 3 for sure.
And then what was your 5?
I would pick Quavo, but nah. Give me Cole because season he ball out at that 3 spot for sure. And then give me, man, I don't want to pick 2 Chainz because you did. Who else would be a celebrity
I would
big?
appreciate that.
Who else would be a celebrity big? Give me someone like I don't know if he hooped though. But someone like Big X the Plug or Jelly Roll.
Or T Grizzly.
Or
Sada Baby.
I'm thinking that. I was just about to say Sada Baby actually can hoop. Hey, give me a big body like that. I would put, matter of fact, give me Sada Baby.
Okay, Sada Baby, man. He'd be a 6-man for me. Yeah. Okay, well, give us a clean one on
so I had Chris Brown at the 1. I had East at the 2. Cole at the 3. Percy Miller. The 4.
Okay.
And give me give me Sada Baby at the 5.
Okay, that's a pretty good lineup. I like that a lot. Kevin, do you have any people that you would have liked to seen on these lists?
I probably would have threw Shaq in there somewhere.
Shaq West.
Yeah,
Okay.
Shaq West. I probably threw something in there. It was open ended. Y'all could have
took the NBA players that was rappers. Yeah. I decided to not to go that direction. I thought about that, but then it's unfair.
Right.
And at that point, it's very fair. Then I got KD, Dave, and Shaq.
And then now I gotta rethink my big situation.
Shaq West. I would throw Quavo in there. Quavo.
I want to do that, but
and there's better people.
I'm Team Breezy, so I plead the fifth on that one.
The game at 4.
The game could hoop in his prime. If we talking his prime,
his prime.
Because he was in the Drew League, really getting to it.
He could shoot it. He could ball too.
Yeah. That's a good one. All right, so last question I got for y'all on the pod, we're gonna bring it to us. I mean, actually, I'm gonna let Kevin lead this last question to us.
Yeah, cool. So both of y'all are athletes and have been on TV. I want y'all to talk about y'all experience being an athlete and being on TV and is it an easy transition to y'all? Was it tough?
I'll let you start it.
Yeah, it might probably be a little shorter than yours.
Yeah.
My little 15 minutes of thing, you feel me? Yeah, being an athlete, I think being an athlete brings you to these points and to these pinnacles of your life. I feel like it teaches you, molds you, it guides you. I think being on a team is probably the most influential thing that you can do growing up. I think it's huge. I would encourage any youth to get on a team, to be a part of a team, to play as a team, because yes, I think it prepares you in the best way for kind of every other experience you're going to have, whether it's production or in a job setting, in a job force or whatever. So I think playing team sports and playing basketball, running track and field, doing those things, playing football, even a little soccer growing up, I think all of those things prepared me and shaped me and helped me in certain ways when it came to actually getting into production and actually being in front of the camera or being around it, whether it was holding it and, you know, trying to direct a little bit or anything in that space. I think the ability to work on a team and the ability to see a picture bigger than just what I got going on or just me in front of the camera, I think, you know, they went hand in hand, and it really shaped me and helped me to make a seamless transition into those spaces. For sure, because you know it was nervous at first. I mean, doing the big production, I've done these smaller things, you know, with friends and with you know, other creators and content professionals. But then doing like an actual show, an actual huge production, nationally televised, you know, production, that was a little bit nerve-wracking at first, a little bit scary at first. But when you realize, like, I've already been in this space, I've already, you know, kind of done some of these things, it kind of falls away, and it's just like, what do they say, when you're nervous or when you're tired, you'll stoop to the level of your preparation, stoop to the level of your training. And I think being in those team settings and being on those teams definitely helped me to kind of fall back and lean back on some trainings and some things that I've gotten from there.
That's a good point. I think that, like, you hit the nail on the head with just like falling to the level of your preparation. And to talk about my experience, I think that being on the court had nothing to do with my experience on TV. It helped me not at all, because shooting a basketball has nothing to do with, you know, talking on camera or being able to tap into it on camera. And my basketball personality my basketball personality is nothing like my, you know, on camera personality. So like when I'm in that mode, I'm in that mode. You know what I mean? I'm a completely different person on a basketball court when I really care. Like, you know what I mean? Like I it's really like you versus me.
That's a
and
great
like,
point.
and I really don't care about you or how you're perceiving me or your family or your mama or I don't care what you're going through. Like I don't. Like I'm almost heartless. You know what I mean? So like that's why I stay out of that mode when I'm playing basketball now, because it's like, bro, I really don't. I really don't give a fuck. Like I really just don't care. And then on camera, it's more like I'm more prepared. I'm more polished. I'm more, you know, thinking about how I'm presenting things and how I'm delivering the message to the audience and making sure it's a way to where y'all gonna receive it and take it well. You know what I mean? And really truly articulate my feelings, my thoughts. You know what I mean? And put it and bring it to life to where people actually get it. And I do think that all throughout my different steps of life, you know what I mean, because of sports, I was put in positions to be in front of a camera. Like now after a game, after not carrying all game, like now I got Rivals, you know what I mean, which is, you know, a pretty big, you know, like sports outlet that does coverage on basketball players or football players or whatever, give you your ranking and stuff like that. After AAU games, coming up to me and holding the camera and asking me who I am and, you know, where I come from and what, you know what I mean? Like, so it was early, you know, situations like that helped me, you know, understand how to articulate myself. And then going, you know, after our games in high school, now I got the news talking to me. I'm like, what happened today? Or like, can we talk to you for a quick second before you go into the locker room? That media training, you know, with the Harlem Globetrotters as well, you know what I mean? Being able to take PR training, understanding how to talk to the news outlets, understanding how to present myself before games and stuff like that during games. Like, all those things help shape me to be able to be ready to be, you know what I'm saying, in front of a camera. But playing basketball and like the team aspect of things, not so much, because like I feel like they're unrelated in a sense, and like some people just really care about just playing basketball. That's why they never make that transition over to, you know, media. But like what you'll see, the guys that actually do it well and you know are going, you know, after the game and sitting down with the media, not skipping out on the media and being able to handle those things well, it comes from their experience and being in that position rather than, being on a team and, talking to a coach or talking to your team. It's just two different experiences, if you ask me. But, like, those experiences really helped shape me to be on camera, so even with the track stuff, like I won national stuff, national track meets, and I went to Nike Nationals right after I won that event. They're interviewing me afterwards and asking me how that feel to be out there, and I'm standing next to a guy who had never been in media training, and whether or not he he knew how to answer the question or actually knew who these people was. Like, sometimes with media training, you gotta sometimes you gotta fake the funk or tailor your answer to really reach the people. And for me, it's like some of the names that they had asked me about, I had no idea who they were. But at the same time, I knew that they were Olympians. I knew that they were big track and field people. I was honored to be in the same room and competing on the same field, and So I talk more so about my experience, not. I don't sound dumb saying, "Oh, I don't know who those guys are." I just came here. You know what I mean? So it's an interview out there, and I don't know if we'll be able to get our hands on it to be able to show y'all. But it's a Nike Track National interview to where they're asking me about it, and it's honestly, you can hear in my voice and stuff. I sound crazy at the time, and I used to get made fun of for how I spoke. Right? I used to all the time so I was very self-conscious of being in front of a camera and speaking, openly. This is amazing to me that I'm even in this space, and I have a podcast, and you guys are listening, and I got viewers. Regardless if it's 1 million or 1,000 or 100, it's taken me a long time, and it's taken me a lot of training to get to this point to where I feel confident and comfortable to be in front of a camera. I didn't just wake up one day and it's I just get it. I was ridiculed. I was made fun of, for years on, bro, why are you speaking? Why are you talking? And naturally, I'm an introvert. You know what I mean? So I already was apprehensive of saying my piece. So it's not something that just. It's not always something that just happens. You get comfortable over time. Cameras are in your face. People are talking. They're asking you questions, and you kind of understand over time how to figure it out. And I think that's a big thing for me. Is no matter what situation I was in, I'm learning. I'm getting better, and that's something that I do want to get better with over time, and being able to talk to people and get my thoughts out there. I used to work in high school in our news. I worked in my high school news department, the Falcon News Network. It was always. I also was a theater kid. I definitely have been on the stage, and I've done different things in different capacities that help prepare me to be in this moment. Public speaking, whether it's leading a choir or leading the orchestra and demonstrating it early in talent shows. I've always been a performer. I've always been in front of a camera, and I've always been working on that stuff. So I wouldn't say it was necessarily just sports that helped me. It was all these things of being able to have that want to be in front of the camera and have that need to understand how it works as well. So that I feel is what helped shape me the most, is just working on these skill sets so I can be prepared for this present moment. So now the NBA brings a camera in front of me, I'm able to talk to them. Simultaneously. Ball's Life brings a camera in front of me, I'm able to talk to them. And not everybody has that. Not everybody has been tailoring that or working on that. And people look at me now and they're like, "Oh, bro, you just get it. I want to be like you." And it's okay, well, start working on that stuff now. Start working on being a performer now. Start working on being in camera now. Talk to yourself in the mirror. Build your charisma up. You know what I mean? All these things happen, and a lot of times I got better at it with just building myself up. You know what I mean? Talking to myself and saying that I could be better at it. So now that I was on reality TV shows, and people look at reality TV shows as oh, that's who you are. Yeah, certain reality TV shows are if they was coming to my crib here, and now I would definitely be okay, my true authentic self, more so similar to kind of how y'all are experiencing me on the pod. It's more truly authentic to how I feel about things, how I talk about things, who I am as a person. But on reality TV, I'm playing a role. It's a storyboard. There's, there's different people that are coming into the situation. Y'all not at my crib. I'm in a controlled environment. You know what I mean? I'm forced to talk to these people. I'm asked specific interview questions about this. I have to say it a specific way in current tenses and, things like that to fit the storylines and fit, different things and narratives, because at the end of the day, a lot of my interviews, if it was truly authentic to me, it's like, well, I really don't care about this, or I really don't care about that. So like, and then, well, can you give us a sound bite? Can you say this for us one time? And it's like, I wouldn't say it like that though. You know what I mean? So a lot of people have to understand that too. You know, like I'm getting produced in a lot of these entertainment and television spaces, and you know, even when I'm with my friends, like I have, you know, certain things that I have to, you know, get to the forefront because I have, you know, executives coming to me and like, okay, well, this is where we are.
This is the layer we want to peel back.
This is where we are. Like, can we peel back this layer? Can we expand a little bit more on this part of the storyline? You can't go left or right. We need you to go straight direct, like just like with Ty and answering the questions in the pod.
Right here.
You know what I mean? Like, although it's, you know, like that's truly how you felt. Like viewers at home, and y'all don't want to hear him play the fence. Y'all don't want to hear me straddle the fence. Y'all want something direct, clear, and concise. And you know that just is easier, you know, for the audience to retain. You know what I mean? So it's like, not saying everything is fabricated, but in my life and what I've done and being in front of a camera, I've always played a role. You know what I mean? Like I've always been able to tap into that role of that character, whether it's me reading lines, whether it's a teleprompter behind it, whether it's notes preparing for whatever it is, or whether it's just knowing what the purpose of the video is prior to going into it. There's never, and I'll be honest to y'all, I love y'all. You know what I mean? Like I wanna definitely deliver this message to y'all because I'm completely going off script right now. But like, there's never been a moment that y'all have seen truly me in my true environment on social media. I'm gonna keep that a buck with y'all. Social media, entertainment, television, like y'all have never seen me. Like
I can attest to that.
Yeah,
I can attest to that. Maybe Snapchat, if you were lucky enough to catch some of those moments.
And side note, I signed a partnership with Snapchat over the next course of this year. I'm gonna be doing a lot of things on Snapchat, and that's probably the one place that you're probably gonna be able to find the most authentic version of me and the inside look to my day-to-day life. So if you guys don't have me already on Snapchat, that's probably the one place that y'all need to make sure that y'all go see an inside look at my life. But also make sure y'all subscribe to my YouTube channel. You know, we're bringing a lot of good content, a lot of good conversations like this, and we're able to expand a little bit more on kind of like my mindset with things. But yeah, like that, the experience as a whole, like being an athlete, turning into, you know, a television personality or a person in front of a camera and in the entertainment world and space, like I do think that they're, you know, they kind of do run parallel with each other. And I've been able to do a lot of great things on the basketball court, you know, on the track, on the field, you know, saying things like that. But I have also been able to really bring a certain level of confidence and charisma to the entertainment space. And that's where I feel like they align the most as far as like believing in yourself and having that confidence and knowing that like the work that you put in or like the body of your work or everything, the preparation that you did leading up to this moment in my life is going to allow me to be successful now. And like, that's where I would say like they're the most connected in my life. You know what I mean? It's being able to trust the process and be confident in the work that I put in.
I hear that. No, I hear that for sure.
What's we talked about we talked about Draymond in particular and how a lot of people see him for who he is on the court. And you know, you've met him, I've met him, truly down to earth guy, you know. And true, I'm sure he thinks the same way. Like y'all haven't seen who I really am as a person. So do you have any advice for athletes that want to get into this space and, you know, do the entertainment, do the music, things like that? Do you have any advice for them to help them show more of their personality and not be, you know, nervous while doing it? Outside of like media training, things like that.
Do you have any advice for them?
Just kind of reiterating what you said. I mean, you said it, you know, as you were kind of talking there about practice now. You know, practice now as if that's what's going on. Get in the mirror and practice, you know what I mean? After a game, you don't have to actually have cameras in your face. You can go, hey, you know, just got off of this game. This happened, that happened, you know, practice. That's what's going to ultimately prepare you for those spaces. I say it all the time to the kids. I teach them all the time. It takes 10 years to be an overnight success. Like, let that sink in. It
10,000
takes
hours.
the 10,000 hours. It takes 10 years to be an overnight success, which essentially just means those people that become these overnight successes usually are putting the time in before that opportunity even presented itself. They were prepared, they were ready, they were already seasoned and doing it, so that when that opportunity came, they could crush it, they could kill it, they could do the best, and they could shine in the capacity they were meant to shine in because they were ready for it. So I think, yeah, just practicing now would be the best way to do that. And like, yeah, don't be shy, don't be scared. You can do it by yourself in front of the mirror. If once you get a little bit more confident, have a friend hold the phone, and so now it's one person I'm talking to. Have a couple more people in the room maybe, and now I'm talking to more people. You know, you can practice by just practicing.
Yeah, and I would agree. I hit on it, you know, my experience and what kind of helped me and shaped me. But yeah, like some of them earlier things that I would do is just like, yeah, like there's so many videos out there that have never been released, whether we lost the footage or whether, you know, we were shooting it on a VHS or a camcorder or, you know what I mean, like just early on to where it was like I was practicing and I wanted to be in front of a camera and like I knew kind of what my interests were. So like if you're an athlete or if you're a person, like I would say like hone in and develop those interests as far as like what you want to do and like what's the trajectory of your career and your life, whether it's on the court, off the court, on the field, off the field, and really start to understand yourself. That's really like have that self-awareness first and like really trying to hone in on like, well, if basketball or football or track and field or baseball or volleyball or soccer doesn't go in the direction I want it to go, where do I want my life to go? And if you want that to always be a part of your life, okay, how can I, you know, how can I explore those different avenues? You know what I mean? So it's just, I would say like you mentioned, you know, just being prepared for the moment before it actually reaches you, and understanding like why you're doing the things that you're doing. Like if you're a person that wakes up and watching, you know, First Take, like myself, I watch First Take dang near every day during the season, and I watch it because I'm so infatuated and I want to understand and learn more about how to be a sports analyst. I want to understand more of like how to, you know, produce a good television show, how to talk about things. You know what I mean? I want to learn from people in the field and want to see what they're doing. And then I want to follow them on Instagram or social media to see, okay, what are they doing in their free time or spare time? And, you know, just doing research, you know what I mean? Like how certain people got to certain positions and places in their life. And there's usually a pathway for it. And then, you know, taking that pathway and then making it your own. You know, and then for me, I started on social media too, just, you know, getting my videos out there and got more comfortable over time. Again, was really ridiculed, was made fun of for what I did at the time. But, you know, 10 years later, we see still around. You know, I'm still around a decade from then and, you know, still doing the things that I kind of like laid the foundation for. So whether people, you know, acknowledge that at the time or not, like everything that I'm doing now is validation to, you know, the point that I wanted to make and prove as a young buck. And I also wrote a note to myself, you know, early on in my career and understanding that like my grades were slipping in high school early. I know you kind of went through the same thing freshman year, you know, like this was the same time for both of us. Freshman year, my grades were slipping. Freshman year, your grades were slipping. You know what I mean? We leave that first semester or whatnot. And, you know, as I'm acknowledging that I'm having that self-awareness and I'm looking at like who I am as a person, I'm writing down notes to myself. And, you know, I heard stories of, you know, some famous entertainers or actors that may have written a blank check to themselves or a note to themselves and stuck it in a photo as motivation and just like forgot about it and then go back to it years later and looking at it like, no, I manifested this.
Right.
You know, early on in my career as a young person, I was cut from my 8th grade team. And it could have been grades at that time. You know, 9th grade, I struggled with grades as well. But I knew that I didn't want to feel the feeling of being cut again. You know what I mean? So I wanted to do everything in my power not to do that. So I wrote a note to myself as I noticed my grades were slipping. And I told myself that, you know, basketball is a vehicle and a vessel to help me get to my future, but it's not the only thing in my future. I have to take care of things in the classroom. I have to do a lot of other things that are going to add to my future and not just focus on one thing and let everything else suffer. I need to be equally yoked and committed to all the things that I'm committed to in my life, and I need to find a way to make it work. I need to stop making excuses for myself. And, you know, I'm in this position right now where my grades are struggling or slipping because of me. I am in a position to potentially get cut because of me, because of the work that I don't put in, or because I think I can cut corners, or I think I can get away with different things in my life that I don't think people are noticing. If there's rules to make this basketball team, I know that I need to follow those rules. Unfortunately, where we went to school, we couldn't wear earrings, we couldn't wear hats, we couldn't,
Socks.
You couldn't have colored socks, we couldn't wear long hair, you couldn't have designs. Like, it was a lot. It was a lot to go with it. But early on, I knew I had to play the game. You know what I mean? So it's like, I played that game. I did what I had to do. I cooperated. I understood, my role at that point in time, and that's how I am. I'm gonna be a person that's gonna infiltrate things, and I'm gonna be a law-abiding citizen to put myself in a position to then change, to make change from the inside. I'm not gonna be a chaotic person that just thinks it's my way and just make a mess along the way, and then just be like, oh, I'm gonna deal with the repercussions as they come, or the consequences aren't gonna be that serious. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how I see a lot of people moving, and it's like, no, like, the consequences are serious, and even though it might not be serious now, it's going to be repercussions that you have to deal with because you're not following the rules. You're not above the rules. Like, I wasn't above the rules, and I knew that, like, even if I made a mistake, I can't be like, oh, well,
it's me.
It's on them, or they're making stuff up, or other people are doing this or that or the third. Like, no, like, responsibility falls on myself, right? And so acknowledging that early on, having that self-awareness, and understanding that, like, change isn't going to come by just me sitting idly by, or change can start with me. You know what I mean? It's going to start with how I act, how I carry myself, how I, hold people around me accountable. So it's like, if you have people or friends in your corner saying, oh, I want to do this, that, and the third, but they never do it, advice I would give you is, like, either encourage them to do it, or stop surrounding yourself with people who are just gonna say things and not gonna follow through. So, like, that will be, like, one of my biggest advice to somebody trying to get into this space too, because there's a lot of people that say that. There's a lot of people that want to do it, but they fail to act. And take it from me, my personal experience, I have run myself ragged. I have sacrificed for those around me. I have, put myself in a worse position to put others around me in a better position, and they never appreciate it. They're never gonna get it, and then when it comes down to it, they're gonna put all their bullshit, all that they're going through, in front of whatever the common goal is. And so it's like you are sacrificing for the common goal because you play teams, you understand it. Like, I understand it. That's how I see it. The common goal is that we all be successful. We all have a common goal. We're all gonna work together to achieve that goals because we bought in. We're playing together. You know what I mean? And you got some people on your team that just have a goal for self. I got to go to college, so that my future takes precedence over the team because I got to score 40 points to show that I want to go D1. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the thing. That those are the I'm learning at my age right now. Like, those are the people I got to cut out of my life. I got to weed out, because when I'm sacrificing, it's cool. But when you got to turn around, you got to sacrifice for the team. Now they don't want to make the same sacrifices I made. And I feel like the sacrifices I'm making are greater than the sacrifices you got to make. I'm putting myself at a disadvantage. And that sucks. You know what I mean? So, like, that's my advice for those kids. Like, weed them out early. Weed them out right now, because I've had too many friends, like, stick around, linger around, and leech off of what I have going on or what I'm doing. And then when it comes around to where it's like, you think that, like, they're going to see the world the same way as you and, like, have your back and best interest at the end of the day, they probably won't. Everybody's going to be for themselves at the end of the day, and they're not going to have the we all we got mentality. And that's, like, when we was on basketball teams and football teams or whatever, like, we all we got.
We all we got.
You know what I mean? Like, things aren't going to, my team isn't going to lose because of me. I got to run my role. I got to run my place. You know what I mean? So that would just be my biggest advice, is just try to weed those people out of your life, and, like, try to be very self-aware, be accountable for all the decisions that you're making. And if that's something that you want to do, then, do it. Don't make excuses.
Super mature mindset. So I think I really hope they grasp that and, like, understand it from someone who's already been in the space, already walked that walk, already put them shoes on and walked it. I hope they really take that and really, you know, internalize that and use that, rewind it 3-4 times and listen to it over again. So, because, yeah, you gave some very valid and very good points.
Yeah, I know that was a little long-winded,
No. Needed. Very necessary.
That was a little long-winded.
I love when I see clips like that and I see people kind of really getting and touching some things that we kind of gloss over. We work left, we work right around it. Like, no, like, say it. Like, say it so that people can hear it. Say it so we can understand it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, nobody wants to be a glorified babysitter. Like, nobody wants to like when you like, that's the same thing when we stepped into those teams and stuff like that. We wanted to walk in and you're warming up. You are taking care of things while I'm not around, while I'm not looking. You know what I mean?
This generation different, bro.
Yeah, and so it's like our coach can turn his head and know that when he come in 15 minutes late to practice, we already got our warm-up and we got leaders, you know, talking about different things. We got people who are running their role, you know what I mean? Because it's like, no, I signed up for this team to run my role. Like, that's the worst thing you can do. Like, I know coaches are mad. I know I hate that as a coach. I walk into the gym or I walk into an environment and people are not handling their business.
Yeah. Everybody's just everywhere.
It's
what are we here for?
Are we here to get better or not? And that's a question you got to answer at the end of the day and look at yourself in the mirror and talk to yourself about, are you doing your job? Are you doing the best that you can do? You know what I mean? Or are you making excuses? Are you acting like it's everybody else's fault? Are you wait, listen? Are you that type of person? Or are you going to take the game that people are giving you and run with it?
In your current space too. That's something I'm even learning for myself. In your current space, run your road and run your race in your current space. I get everybody wants to be everywhere, but it's like, no, you have to run it in your current space. Be the best in your current space. That's how you maximize everything. By being, I'm the best trash filler this office ever seen. Like, you know what I mean? I get it. It's not what you want to be doing, but it will pay off in the long run. It will pay off in the long run because the habits you create.
Know your why. That's huge. Know your why, know your purpose, and, you know, follow through. That's all we got for y'all today on the podcast. Appreciate y'all. If y'all tapped in, y'all listened, y'all made it all the way through. I'm your guy, Bionic Brooks. This is Talk That Talk in T3. If y'all see us out in the streets, make you say what's up.